On March the 3rd in London at Plaisterers Hall, we'll be celebrating International Women's Day with our theme, Leadership That Opens Doors. We want to shine a light on the leader within all of us that opens doors for others.
I open doors for diversity of thought by making sure that those of diverse backgrounds are listened to, are recognised and are heard.
I open doors for women in FinTech to be heard and seen.
I open doors for enabling opportunity and empowering people to be the best that they can possibly be.
I open the door by making AI practical and not intimidating.
I open doors for opportunities. I open doors for all genders.
International Women's Day is about opening doors together and creating opportunities for everybody.
It's about showcasing brilliance, showcasing opportunity.
It is a reminder that we all are working towards having a proper, equal and balanced workforce where everyone is recognised for their skills and qualities.
Join us for 4 TED Talk style talks, for networking, for a time for the community to come together. I open doors.
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 Big thanks to NIAX, Delta and Steel Eye for sponsoring this Open Doors event.
Welcome to Leadership That Opens Doors. I'm so happy that so many of you have turned up today. I am Nadia Edwards-Dashti, Chief Customer Officer of Harrington Starr, and this is Georgia Richardson, our Global Head of Marketing. We are so proud to host you all today, so welcome. This is the 5th Harrington Starr International Women's Day event, and this year we're in partnership with NIAX, Steel Eye and Delta. So thank you to our sponsors for supporting us. Georgia and I, with the help of the brilliant Harrington Starr team, have curated and designed an event to ignite the leader in all of us. I just want to shout out the team, Hermione, Ryan, Toby, Rob, Lauren and Ian. We have curated this event to ignite the leader in all of us, and we want people to be thinking about this theme the whole way through today, but beyond. We want you to be thinking about opening career doors. We want people to be thinking about taking allyship, sponsorship, mentoring to the next step of advocacy. We want everyone to be better equipped to have doors opened for them, and then to have more doors open for those that they believe in. So we want to ignite this passion in each and every one of you. As you know, I helped set up Harrington Starr 16 years ago. The years just fly on by. We are recruiters into financial services, and we are specialists across tech, sales, and risk. And I am obsessed by careers and who gets to progress. I'm obsessed and love working with firms that truly look after their people. Firms that are committed to building safe environments. Environments where people are fairly promoted and progressed. Environments where people are backed to share ideas and debate those ideas positively and safely. We want each of you to feel like you can be more active in that based on today's event. We want you to take the lessons from today, the ideas that you've got back to your teams, and really drive this career focus and progression all year long. So just take a second, look to your left, look to your right, look around you. Who are the people around you? Who will be opening doors for you next? Who will you be opening doors for? And that's what gets me so excited, knowing that all of us today should be building amazing new connections, or maybe seeing people that you've seen before, but a long time ago, and reigniting those connections. To the doors you open for others, to the doors they open for you, and the doors that you may have to smash down yourself. We are firm believers in tribe and community. So connect. Start something new today, a lasting relationship that will survive through tomorrow and all the tomorrows. Because every single one of us will remember the person who once believed in us. We will all have that person in our mind right now, the person that opened that door for us. Whether it was a coach, whether it was an amazing teacher, that means something to all of us. And I want us to remember what that is and be that person for somebody else. Because today is about believing in ourselves and believing in others.
As Nadia mentioned, this is our 5th year celebrating International Women's Day with you. It's built on our feedback every year, and it's designed to be practical and interactive. The seating today is intentional, so it's easy to connect, easy to take notes, and easy to build new relationships. There's live captions on screen above us here, and we also have BSL support today. If you need anything, please let our team know. They'll be floating around the rooms. They're all stood just on the sides. On the tables, there's your workbooks. Please flick through them as the talks go on and jot down your ideas, commitments, and follow-ups. You'll see the book area as you walked in. That's back year after year. We've got 4 brilliant titles that reflect today's themes, and you'll be able to choose one of those later. After the talks, we're bringing back the professional headshots, a small but powerful investment in your personal brand. And again, a huge thank you to Nadia, Steel Eye and Delta for being part of this event and helping us make it happen.
Thank you, G. So without making you wait any longer, let's just try something. So everybody with a workbook, you will see towards the back, there is a green yes page and there is a red no page. So I'll just give you a second to find those. Okay, so we're just going to try something out, which is going to happen a couple of times during the event today. And I'm going to make it nice and simple just to start with, just for practice. So, first question, and if you could raise your vote so I can see. First question, are you happy with the state of inclusion and equality in the workplace today? No. Oh, we've got a couple yeses. Yes, some yeses. Are you committed to making a difference? Yes, this is so positive. I definitely need a picture of this so that I can send it around to you all afterwards. And are you ready for leadership that opens doors? Yes, yes we are. So let's begin with an incredible duo who will show you exactly what we mean by transferable skills and how you can rethink the pipeline gap. Welcome to the stage, Alicia and Lauren.
Okay. Well, first of all, hello. My name's Lauren Da Costa, and I'm the founder and CEO of She Plays to Win.
And my name is Alicia, and I'm a member of She Plays to Win.
Okay, as Nadia just showed you, we're going to start with a question. Okay, so yeah, you have your workbooks. Question is, what percentage of females participate in chess, both in the UK and in most countries worldwide? So you have to say higher than 25% or lower than 25%. So I think we'll say green for over 25% participation and red for under 25%. So, yeah, I think it's mostly under 25%. Yeah, a few greens there. Okay, and the answer is 8%. Yeah, so on average in a chess tournament, if there are 100 people, then 92 male players and 8 female players. So why is this a problem? And I think this is a problem because the opportunities and progression in areas for FinTech and STEM areas, financial services, this has a big knock-on effect. So a little bit about me. I've been involved in chess for over 30 years. I started as a 9-year-old. I've been the 4-time England women's chess coach at international events, World Chess Olympiad. I've been to India for that, also European Team Championships. I also work in lots of schools across London. I was actually one this morning. And I've got good experience of understanding boys, girls, and also the chess arena. And I would say that the effect of chess for girls, I've seen, for example, with Alicia, firsthand, just how big using chess as a vehicle as an educational tool has been. So Alicia will tell you in a bit, but I taught her when she was 6. So it's quite a few years ago. And I saw her, now she's studying STEM subjects at A-level. And we have a database now under She Plays to Win. We have about 40 girls on the list who I deem chess players, so girls like Alicia who've played lots of tournaments and have a high national rating. Of that list, it's about 90% of those 40 girls who are studying STEM subjects at A-level and university. And actually, that's the same with the boys as well. So I have a list of top, strong male players, and it's exactly the same at that top level, at Alicia's level, for the girls and the boys who are doing STEM-related subjects. So that's, I think, quite a good indication. I'd like to just quote to you a girl who's 12 years old. I teach her in one of my schools, and she writes a diary of a secret chess girl for our monthly newsletter. So if I could just quote what she wrote, and she wrote this, by the way, herself last month with no prompting at all. She said, chess can not only support academic studies and concentration, but it can also be used to gain confidence, especially for girls, and teach them about inspiring female players, which would encourage motivation. The number of girls playing chess competitively is significantly less than the number of boys playing chess, so clubs such as She Plays to Win can help girls rebuild this confidence to carry on. And I think it's that confidence word that I really wanted to pick up on, because if we give girls the confidence at that young age to get into things like chess, as I said, using it as an educational tool, then hopefully we'll change the perception that girls shouldn't be doing things like STEM, but actually they should. They really should believe in themselves to do it. And this has the knock-on effect, is for why we're here, is that for the financial workforce globally, how are we going to get more females into the situations that we see here? Okay, and as one of our trustees who's not here today, she runs her own AI startup company. And she's actually a former England women's international player as well. And she quoted to me, I want to select from all of the potential workforce, male and female, and not just from half of it. I always like to quote a parent of a girl who's the British under-11 goals champion. The dad said to me, I work for a trading firm as a graduate recruiter, but there are so few girls in this area, I practically am only selecting boys for these graduate jobs. So how are we going to encourage more girls to believe that they can get into STEM? And I think that, from a biased view, that I think chess is a fantastic vehicle for this. And as I said, if we start them from a young age, like Alicia did, then we give them the best chance to address this pipeline gap that we're seeing, as we said, 8%, not just in the UK, but in most countries worldwide. Now, as far as plans for She Plays to Win, we're doing quite a few things. We are running events for primary school girls. We've got one in a few weeks' time. It's for state girls in northwest London, in conjunction with the Young Harrow Foundation. And the idea is to the issues of girls from lower socioeconomic backgrounds. So most schools tend to be private schools that do chess. So how are we going to address that gap as well? And also, we've got plans in June for a chess, creative maths and STEM day. So we're going to have girls come and do chess games. We're going to do maths battles, a pizza lunch, because apparently that's the big feedback. Girls love food. And I'm only quoting what they've told me. And we've got a girl coming from Liverpool who's going to teach them the Rubik's Cube. And also a couple of interests from some banks who have told me that they do volunteering, and we're going to get some female role models from engineering, banking, and so on to come and talk to the girls. Because let's face it, I'm organising everything, but they don't really want to listen to me. They want to listen to the females who are the real role models here. And a final plan we have is, we mentioned the younger ages when I said Alicia learned chess when she was 6 with me, is to work with Times Tables Rockstars, because we have I think it's age 8 and 9, the government Times Table check, and trying to again use chess puzzles alongside with Times Tables Rockstars. We've already talked about a partnership there. And again, trying to get girls from a young age to believe that maths and STEM is something for them. And talking to a lot of parents and girls in their teens who've told me, if only someone had helped me when I was younger at that age to believe in myself, I would have gone on further. So She Plays to Win, we have quite an ambitious plan over the next 4 years. We're already 6 years old, but over the next 4 years, we're planning to get into every UK girls' school in the country to do chess. It's about 350 schools, most of them are secondary. And also to, as I said, increase the reach to state girls. So we're going to be starting in London in a few weeks, and the plan is to roll out initiatives with different boroughs and different foundations to try and reach girls who wouldn't have the access and opportunities to chess, that, if we start them, they wouldn't be able to start in school, so we want to go directly to them. So that's the plan, and has been the plan since I started She Plays to Win in April 2020, so about 6 years ago.
So, as you all know, my name is Alicia, and I've been playing chess since the age of 6, guided by my amazing coach, Lauren. My chess journey began 13 years ago, and what it's taught me since then has been absolutely invaluable. I've never encountered another pursuit that mirrors life's challenges so closely and develops so many of the skills that are required to overcome them. There is something beautiful about the pure skill-based nature of chess. It demands accountability and offers endless room for improvement. I remember when I was younger and I would leave tournaments in tears after difficult losses. But the more games I played, the more I began to experience the joys of winning and also to appreciate the importance of so-called failures. I learned to take responsibility for my mistakes, to analyze them, and to come back even stronger next time. I realized that it wasn't the result itself, but what I chose to do with it that determined my progress. Through chess, I've also cultivated patience and focus. Sitting in a silent room for up to 6 hours, entirely absorbed in a single game, is no easy task. It required training of my mind, and this only happened through years of practice and experience. Game after game stretched my attention span, taught me to adapt when the situation required it, always keeping the ultimate goal in sight. Most importantly, chess gave me confidence as a woman in a male-dominated environment. It showed me that I could compete at the same level as men in a pursuit that's defined by logic, analysis, and critical thinking. Winning games through disciplined training, recognizing patterns, planning and executing strategies, all strengthened my self-belief. I became used to hearing parents warn their sons not to lose to a girl, or seeing pieces placed a little harder at the board and with a bit more frustration when a girl was winning. These moments gradually lost their weight. Chess rewards precision and punishes careless thinking, regardless of who is sitting opposite. This confidence carried forward with me into sixth form. 2/3 of my cohort were male. I was one of 3 girls in a 12-person physics A-level class, and one of 2 girls in a math class of the same size. Unfortunately, this imbalance is as typical in STEM subjects as it is in chess. But fortunately, this meant that I went in well prepared. Instead of taking a back seat, I was determined to show that I could thrive and contribute just as much to the room. Where male-dominated environments might have been intimidating, my chess experience ensured that they instead drove me to prove myself, to empower my female peers, and to level the playing field. I had come to realize over the years that the volume of your voice does not equate to your competence. Often, boys are simply more confident and willing to take risks. This willingness to have a go is a trait that must not be lost among young girls, whose talent is too often muted by hesitation. Chess is more than a game or a sport. It has shaped how I think, strategically, creatively, resiliently. These are not abstract qualities. They are practical skills, and they are essential in the workplace and in everyday life, where problem solving is inevitably required. They are forged through years of trying, failing, learning, and adapting. For me, chess is not just something I play. It has built part of who I am. Beyond the lessons, there were the tournaments, the friendships, and the community I built, of young girls empowering each other and propelling each other forwards. This is something irreplaceable, and it's something that I will carry forward with me into university, my career, and beyond. That is what chess has given me.
So in short, we can see that there are simply not enough females in the FinTech, banking or STEM industries. And we think, as She Plays to Win, that the plans that we have for working in state schools, working with UK girls' schools, that we can help develop this drive and confidence, as Alicia just said, using chess as an educational tool. And I'll just give a few examples. Girls like Hannah, who's studying right now AI at Southampton University, she told me she was the only one in her physics A-level class, female in her class. Girls like Diana, who came to our event in November, our university tournament, who was a former Romanian under-10 girls champion. Now she's studying computer science. Girls like Rosa, who also attended that event, she told me she struggles a little bit socially, but she lets her chess and maths do the talking. And girls like Abigail, who plays in the same National League team as Alicia, who is studying maths at Durham and achieved straight A stars whilst playing chess, and also worked a weekend job in a fish and chip shop. And of course, you've just heard from Alicia herself, who I've seen take on boys and adult men in local and international chess tournaments, building her resilience and skill. And she hopes now, I believe, to study maths at university. So these girls, what have we seen here? They've all benefited from playing chess, being exposed to chess tournaments, and reaping the benefits of the skills that brings. These, to me, are the future goals for fintech, banking, and the STEM industry. And She Plays to Win, our dream is to now become a pipeline, the only one of its kind, to allow girls to reach their potential in these areas.
Excitingly, big corporations are beginning to recognize this link between chess and STEM. So last summer, I had the opportunity to take part in the Step In, Step Up Women in STEM program at Morgan Stanley. Over 2 days, alongside sessions around finance and technology, we took part in a chess workshop, solving complex puzzles over the board and competing as teams. That recognition matters because it confirms that chess cultivates the exact key skills that STEM and finance later demand.
So if you'd like to learn more, we'll be here afterwards, but thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Alicia and Lauren. It's brilliant to see that come to life after such long planning. So just want to take a minute. On all of your tables, there's one chessboard, and in front of it, there is a black envelope. If you could all take one card from inside that black envelope each, there should be 10. Following on from that conversation, one person on your table will take a chessboard home with the intention to donate this to a young girl who may not have ever considered chess before. So there's 10 opening moves. On the back of the chessboard is an opening move. If your card matches the back of the chessboard, please take that home today and gift it to a young girl in your life. I'll give you a minute now to do that.
Okay, has everyone had their chessboard allocated? So, the people that have the chessboards, you have such a huge responsibility, right? And we want you to be sharing those stories. So please think about Alicia and Lauren. Please think about She Plays to Win, and let's turn that into opening doors for the next generation. So when we asked Alicia to speak, I loved the concept of showing everybody a case study, an example of look at the power of someone who's had a door open for them and just how they can excel. And remember what I said at the start, we will always remember, every single one of us, the power that we were given, that gift of confidence when someone opens a door for us. So it Alicia inspired us to do some stories today to really bring everything to life, because we all do have that one moment, and we don't forget that moment that we were believed in. So I have an example of somebody who's going to tell us their story. So she is an influential senior account manager supporting clients globally. She spent 9 years in the industry, starting at Bloomberg, and was quickly promoted to leadership. She has a brilliant story to share with you that will bring the theme of leadership that opens doors to life with her very own example. So Michelle Hunt, Senior Account Manager at Steeli, please share your story.
Hi, everyone. Very fitting that Nadia's asked me this question, because the first person I can think of that opened a door for me 9 years ago is a lady called Nadia Humphreys. I was fresh out of university, applied for a role that, safe to say, I was unqualified for because it was in a financial data tech firm. But I studied and I worked hard, and I managed to complete all the Excel tasks that were asked of me until I got to the dreaded VLOOKUP. That was the moment where I thought honesty is the best policy. So I told Nadia I simply couldn't complete it, but that, you know, if she were to offer me the role, that I would study hard until it became second nature. So I left that interview, didn't think that I'd get the phone call that I did the next day, which was that Nadia wanted to offer me the position. She saw a lot of potential in me, and she loved my eagerness and willingness to learn. And so that was the start of my career. I was at Bloomberg for 6 years, and I'll forever be grateful to Nadia for opening that door for me, because I am where I am now because of that and the experience that I gained from learning and working with her. And I hope that one day I can also open a door for someone else and see potential in someone else like she did with me.
Lovely story that we're talking about another Nadia out there in the world doing good things. So, and I didn't know that was going to be the example, but love that there's two Nadias we're talking about. This is a perfect way to introduce our next speaker, Suki Fuller. She's going to open doors to your ways of thinking. So sit back, get comfortable, and be ready for comfortably uncomfortable. Suki.
Thank you. All right, thank you very much. I'm up here, and there are two things you need to know before I even get started. One, I have an issue with my leg right now. They don't know, some sort of pulled muscle. So I might be walking, and if I stumble and fall, feel free to laugh, it's okay. And two, I have an eye condition, and so I can't see anybody probably about 3 tables back. And woman with the time card, please, I'm telling you, you gotta move forward, because I cannot see that little reminder back there. So we gotta be coming way, way forward. That's just to get started. But you know, that's me being comfortably uncomfortable, because I am. Whenever I have to go someplace or do something, I show up as me. It doesn't matter if it's a room full of executives, a room full of ministers. So let's get started. I will tell you, the person that opened door for me, door number 1, it was about being uncomfortable. You know why? Because it was a conference. There I was as a junior analyst, barely wiping my nose out of university, and I was sent to a university, and they said, oh, well, yeah, we want you to go to a conference. And I was like, oh, yeah, you know, thinking it's other students. Nope, turn up at a conference, a bunch of Latin American diplomats. 1, I don't speak Spanish. 2, I don't speak Portuguese. 3, I barely speak English, and I am British American. So, you know, I've got that whole American language thing going on that's not always the best. But needless to say, I did really well. And that was because I changed the way that I thought. Everybody always thinks about metacognition, you know, thinking about thinking. And there is that first type 1 where it's just going in and it's a gut thing, like, oh, I'm absolutely petrified. But if we were all penguins, I love penguins, by the way. If we were all penguins, we wouldn't be thinking like that, because penguins are comfortable being uncomfortable. They have to exist in an environment where they just have to get on with it. It's called survival. On this beach, there are 5 different species of penguins. That doesn't happen normally. But just think about that. In this room, there are lots of different types of people, but you've all come together for one thing. It's this event. Those penguins have all come together for one thing, survival. So they get on with it. Why can we not do that? Why do we go to events and we think when we go to another country that the common language of the event needs to be in English? Granted, my conference was in Florida, so I was like, it's gonna be in English, and I showed up and it wasn't. But guess what? I changed the way that I thought. I went with that type 2. I really did go with deliberative thinking. Like, what do I need to do here? I need to, 1, not go in and just find the group of English-speaking people and go, this is my tribe, this is my group, I'm going to stay here. No, I had to stick my head above the parapet and go, okay, where are the people that are going to teach me something? I'm not going in to go and hang out with the people that look exactly like me, that think exactly like me, because what's the point of going? You're not learning anything new. You go to events to learn something new. You go to meet different people. So yeah, it's really great to go hang out with your friends while you're there, but what's the point? You might as well just stay at home and sit behind Zoom and have a chat. No, you go to get different types of thinking. And that is, you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. You have to recognize in your biased way of thinking about what you want to do, that you have to put yourself in that position of doing something different. This is me recently, last year, in Germany, in Munich. They asked me to speak. I was like, yeah, get on stage. I'm speaking English with with a general. I have not been a general. I was an officer, but not anywhere near general when I was in the military. But I get on stage, I'm speaking. The majority of that conference was in German, probably about 80% of it. I speak a little bit of German, I can understand German, and it was extremely uncomfortable to be at a conference where, one, the native language spoken was not my native language. But two, to be in that conference and not to have any real understanding of everything that was going on. But all I kept remembering and thinking to myself was, everybody here is here for one purpose. It's this event, so we have something in common. So while I may feel uncomfortable, I'm still pretty comfortable because I know when I'm going to speak to somebody at that event, they also have a reason very much similar to mine. They wanted to learn something at that event. That's a starting point. And while I was biased in my thinking, like, oh, I'm gonna be awful, no one's gonna understand a word I'm gonna say, I won't understand what they're gonna say because they're gonna be speaking in German, I learned more. And why was that? Because 2 ears, 1 mouth. You have to listen. When you're in a situation where you are not comfortable, you listen more. You pay more attention. And when you're in an environment, especially an environment where they're not speaking your native language, and we're not talking just about native language as in English, German, we're also talking about native language as in science and maths, you will learn more. It's called putting aside your bias, really paying attention with how you're thinking and paying attention. As I keep saying, 2 ears, 1 mouth. You pay attention and you listen. This is me at a conference in the Middle East. Yeah, I lived in Saudi Arabia as a kid. Do I speak Arabic? No. Majority of the people there speaking Arabic all around me. That panel was English, but there were always some people in the audience, majority, English was their second language. I was really uncomfortable when I walked into that room. I thought, I am gonna bomb. Went like a house on fire. Why? Because I actually paid attention to what was being said. The questions that were being asked, sometimes when they're asked in English, kind of gloss over the answer, but you pay attention. And that was me on the One Show. One, I'd never seen the One Show. 2, they called me that day as I was on the bus going home, and in 3-4 hours, I'm on the One Show on a topic of facial recognition surveillance technology on a television show that hadn't aired yet, and I hadn't even seen the previews because I don't own a television. Comfortably uncomfortable. But you think about the things that you have to do. Look around this room right now. There are people in here that you haven't met. There's somebody in this room that may possibly open a door for you. Just remember to be comfortably uncomfortable. You don't know everybody in this room, and everybody in this room doesn't know you. So guess what? Be comfortably uncomfortable. Be that nice little random penguin that looks different from everybody else, and go talk to somebody. Because remember, number one, we are all human. So there's a commonality. Number two, you are in this room, which means you have a reason to be here. Everybody has a reason to be here. They wanted to learn. And number three, what the hell? It's not raining. And right now, we know we've had enough rain. So I would just say, everybody think about thinking. Think about how you think differently. And most importantly of all, be comfortably uncomfortable. Step out of your comfort zone, because that's how doors are opened.
Thank you so much, Suki. Suki did a post a few days ago with a fact about penguins on the post, and I saw that someone commented saying, "I love your random fact, Suki." Not so random now. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. I've got another story for us to share, and it's a good one. So this story is an opening door story, and I'm going to describe this person to you. This person is a career-long people manager. She's been head of self-administered pensions and is now a commercial director. In her career, she's been in sales, relationship management, finance, and product strategy. She loves giving back and has a great story of when a door was opened to her. So please, can I ask Claire Court to stand up, commercial director at Delta.
Hi, everyone. It's not too loud, I hope. Well, my story starts around 17 years ago when I joined Delta. And I asked the MD a really simple question. I said, do you think that any of your clients might need someone like me? And he paused. And what he said next changed my career. He said, Delta needs someone like you. In hindsight, this was the moment that he opened the door for me. He opened the door into a small but rapidly growing business and trusted me to help shape its future from the ground up. That meant putting in place structure, growing the team, nurturing our culture, and over time, quadrupling our turnover. But what stayed with me most was that he saw something in me when, quite honestly, some of the people at Delta weren't quite sure why I was there. But he had the vision, and he gave me the space to grow into it. If I fast forward to now, I can quite honestly say that I've had the best years of my career at Delta. And all because someone opened the door for me, I've been able to open the door for others. I've been able to promote, champion, and support, and help people realize their potential and give them their moment to shine. So, in a nutshell, that's what opening doors really means to me. It's not just changing one career, it's creating that sort of ripple effect that lasts long beyond that first door being opened. Thank you.
Amazing, and yes, I love that description, the ripple effect that we can all be a part of today. It takes me on to our next speaker, who's going to be talking about leadership and how you push that heavy door open for yourself and who you can have standing right there next to you, Linda Clark.
Wow. So I haven't done many slides, but I thought this was quite an interesting one. Out of 193 UN member states, only 32 are led by women. I'll come back to this. I wanted to approach this conversation today slightly differently, and rather than focusing on what organizations need to do to stop women disappearing on the way up, which we know happens and happens far more than it should, I wanted to speak directly to the women who aspire to lead. The women considering stepping forward, the women starting out, our daughters, and the men that stand beside us. Because this is not just a workplace issue. It is a societal one. It is shaped long before we ever walk into an office. It's shaped long before we start our first roles, and it shapes from the way we were raised, the roles we saw modelled, and the expectations placed on us, often without anyone saying them out loud. History has embedded unconscious bias in all of us, men and women alike, and we reinforce it every day without even realising. We see it in who is called ambitious, who is called too ambitious, described as assertive, or labelled bossy, who is seen as bold or who is seen as aggressive. We see it in who will assume to take the career risk and who will carry the home load. These patterns do not start at promotion panels. They start in living rooms, in classrooms, and in playgrounds, and they follow us to the boardrooms, because this is not just about policies. It's about culture, it's about habit, and it's about the stories we've inherited, and unfortunately the ones we're still telling. And unless women reshape the status quo from the top, we will not change the story. We will simply pass it down. Now, women make up just over half of the people entering the workforce. But as we move up, only around 29% will hit C-suite level, and less than 10% will hit CEO level. Same starting line, very different finish. So instead of focusing on fixing the system, I want to talk about something perhaps we don't say enough and what it actually takes to get there. The kind of honest version, because the reality is you will encounter bias, self-doubt, fear, and you will experience things that feel unfair and have to navigate these slightly differently to men. So today I'm going to share 4 things that I hope will help you navigate the journey and that I've sort of learned along the way. And these are things that we as women need to own ourselves and to push us forward and share. And hopefully men will understand more. Number 1, balance doesn't start at work, it starts at home. Let me ask a question. So the red and green that you have here. How many of you in the room have been asked, or have someone said to you, I don't know how you juggle it all? Just have a look. Now, it's a little bit unfair, because if there were more men in the room, there'd probably be lots more reds. However, this is something I'm asked pretty much on a weekly basis, and I asked my husband how often he's asked this, and he said, never. So the biggest reason for burnout is actually not necessarily work. It's the second shift, the unpaid work at home. And as a mother of 4 with a demanding job and pets, I did absolutely not think through. I've learned this. If we do not rebalance at home, and we limit ourselves at work, and this means something quite uncomfortable, particularly for me, and it means giving up control, empowering our partners to support us. So the truth is we still take on more of the childcare, more household responsibilities, and more of the invisible organisation of life. I think we secretly like the organisation part. And society reinforces it. Men are often not supported to actually take on more, and it's still not seen as the norm. Many of us, including myself, don't even ask for as much help as I need. It's often in the moment and not a proactive, equal division of home life. It has to be intentionally agreed. How many dads and baby groups do you see? How many school WhatsApp groups are just mums? And how many men are really supported when they have to rush off to pick up a child from school? The policies support it, the behaviour does not. The bias doesn't start at work, it starts long before. Number 2, own your own success. So women are incredible at lifting others up, but when it comes to ourselves, we hesitate. We attribute success to luck, hard work, timing, the team, the environment, pretty much anything but ourselves. Men, on average, are more comfortable saying, I did that. Women often say, we did that, and that matters. Because promotions don't come from quiet excellence alone, they come from visibility, from ownership, and taking a seat at the table. Women are also much less likely to negotiate for themselves, although they'll run in and negotiate brilliantly for others. Women, we are systematically underestimate our own abilities. It is well proven that when rating our abilities, men, on average, slightly overestimate, and women slightly under. But this is where it gets complicated. There's a well-known study from Harvard Business School Two groups were given the exact same case study about a successful venture capitalist named Heidi. One word was changed for one of the groups. Heidi became Howard. Both groups agreed they were equally competent, but Howard, they found him likable and someone they'd want to work for, a great leader. Heidi, well, she was seen as political, self-serving, less likable, and not somebody they'd want to work for. Same behavior, just one word changed. Very different perception. And what we know from studies like these is that success and likability are positively correlated for men and negatively correlated for women. We have been systematically shaped without even realizing it to believe men and women should behave in certain ways. And when someone steps outside those expectations, it's often judged more harshly. So traditionally, women are expected to be warm, agreeable, modest, supportive, nurturing. These are not negative traits. In fact, they're valuable leadership traits. But the tension comes when leadership itself has historically been defined by traits more commonly associated by men. Decisiveness, assertiveness, risk-taking, confidence, authority. So when a woman behaves in a way that aligns to traditional expectations, she may be liked. But when she behaves in a way that aligns to traditional leadership expectations, she may be judged. And that's the double bind, because it means we're constantly walking on a tightrope. We are expected to own our own success, but not appear too confident, to put ourselves forward, but not too aggressive, to negotiate more whilst knowing it may cost us likability. It's a careful calibration that many men simply don't have to think about. And that's why it matters beyond us, because we're not navigating this for ourselves, we're modeling it for the next generation. Number 3, don't wait until you feel ready. There's something many of us have done, including me. We wait until we feel ready. We wait until we've ticked every box, until we're 100% confident, and by the time we finally feel ready, if it ever happens, the opportunity is gone. Research shows that men are more likely to apply for roles when they meet around 60% of the criteria. Women, closer to 100%. Men are more comfortable stepping into something they haven't done before. Women are likely to think, I've never done that. I'm not ready. What am I found out? We focus on the gap. Men focus on the opportunity. And that gap is usually confidence, not competence. And there's another layer on this. Studies show that men are often promoted based on potential and women on proven performance. So men are told, we see what you could become, and women show us again what you've already done. That difference changes how you see yourself. We're also often juggling future planning of having families and career plans, sometimes turning opportunities down in the fear of being able to manage it all, which for some might be the right decision, but sometimes it's out of fear and guilt. So if I'd leave you with one thing, readiness is a myth. You have to fake it until you make it. That's how I built my career. Number 4, build your network and use it. So we often hear it's not what you know, it's who you know. Unfortunately, careers don't just progress through hard work. They progress through visibility, relationships, advocacy, and sponsorship. And this is where women can sometimes fall behind, because we focus on doing the work and doing it well, but not on necessarily making it seen. Your network matters, not just the people that you like, but the people who will speak your name in rooms you are not in, because that's where decisions are made. And this isn't about being political, it's about being intentional. Put yourself forward for opportunities, build relationships across your organization, stay connected to people as you move roles, and importantly, support other women. Because when one woman moves forward, she makes it easier for the next. And to the men in the room, this matters too. Be the person that says she's ready. Have you considered her? She'd be great at this. And that kind of advocacy changes careers. And this is where I want to be very honest. We are playing the same game, but the rules, they are not the same. They never have been. They are systematic. They are historical. Changing policies alone will not fix this. Policies do matter, but culture is older than policy. So yes, we have to continue to get structural changes and policies, but we also have to be clear-eyed. As women, we need to understand the rules are different, not to accept them, but to navigate them, to work with them strategically, and to rise anyway. Because as more women reach the top levels of leadership, the rules begin to shift. Out of 193 UN member states, only 32 are led by women. 32. That is not because there are 32 capable women in the world. It is because the system, the culture, and the expectations that we've inherited were not designed with equality in mind. And without more women shaping global leadership, corporate leadership, political leadership, progress will always be slower than it should be. International Women's Day is not about asking for advantages. It's about accelerating progress. It's about removing friction, challenging outdated norms, backing talent wherever it exists. And the story only continues if we choose to repeat it. And the way we change it, we step forward anyway, and we reshape those rules. And we refuse to hand the same limitations down to the next generation. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. I wish I'd heard that 20 years ago. Maybe I wouldn't have blamed myself for everything. And I want to take away with that, she is ready. Like, if we can all be saying that in our workplace, she's ready. I know she's ready. So fantastic. Thank you so much. Just a reminder, please be using your notebooks, the workbooks that we've prepared for you, because there's so many lessons here today that I want you to take with you. And I know it's a bit of a whirlwind with the amount of information that we're throwing at you. We now have another story to share, one I'm very excited about. This next person that we want to celebrate was with Visa for 12 years and is a well-known director in this space. I actually can imagine that you all know who she is when she stands up. Her rich career spans 25 years across technology, transformation and sustainability, and she now partners with leaders to strengthen leadership awareness and build inclusive, high-performing cultures where access and performance are shaped intentionally from the top. Don't we need more of that? So please, can I introduce Triveni Chagul of Kinspace.
Hello, everybody. I'm really pleased to be here today. And I'll share a story in my career where a sponsor made a huge difference, not only to the immediate assignment that I got, but what that assignment led to. This was a role of Head of Technology in the Innovation Center for London at Visa. It was an interim position where we were post-integration with Visa Inc. as Visa Europe had been acquired, and we needed to establish a technology team working across product and other divisions globally as well as locally. Now, the hiring manager had ruled me out because while I was a woman in tech and had been in the technology ecosystem for a long time and even within the organization, I was no longer a hands-on technical person. I was far away from the code, but that was the biggest reason why I would not get accepted for that role. The role was to establish the target operating model and basically ramp up the whole team. And so my sponsor, who was then the Chief Technology Officer of Visa Europe, stood up for me and said, she has the potential. Look at her records. Look at what she has been delivering. And it was because of his sponsoring, his insisting, and his conviction and belief in me that I was given the opportunity. And that opportunity resulted in a great team being built, which had 64% women in a technology team, none that got equaled by any other location of Visa. It led me to being able to get into doing an executive MBA in a well-reputed business school, that is the Warwick Business School. I got a promotion at the end of that tenure as well, and I had got the excellent rating by the hiring manager, who was not willing to give me another chance. And why I'm sharing this is because I'm not only proud of my sponsor, Nick Atkinson, for that specific. This was just example. And he's here today with me to show his support to women that he continues to be.
Thank you, Triveni. What an amazing story, and great to have your advocate here. And it makes me think of those ripples again, the ripples that can just grow and grow and grow, and that's what I get so excited about. It takes me really nicely onto our final talk of today. So Matthew will be joining us. She's one of my favourite speakers of all time, and she's going to be telling us more of what we can expect with the onset of AI and how we can be defining it ourselves. Welcome, Matthew.
Thank you. So, exactly a month ago, 16 women took to the stage at BCS. It was the showcase event of an 8-week hackathon I ran at the end of last year. 16 women, no tech background, 4 working prototypes. But that's not actually why I'm here today. I'm here because of what happened to one of them, or actually a few of them, after. My name is Sumati Menon, and I lead the Women Defining AI, which is it's a US-based nonprofit. I lead the UK chapter, and I also run my own AI consulting strategy. When I was preparing for today, I kept thinking a lot about doors. We know about locked doors, the systemic barriers, the vault doors, the no-entry signs that have been there for decades. You've already heard about these today. These doors feel formidable, insurmountable. And who are behind these doors? Can you use your green and red? Have you seen this image before today? Wow. Quite a few reds. Okay, this is the Time Person of the Year for 2025. It's not often that Time picks multiple people or things as Person of the Year, but they are the architects of AI. 6 men, 2 women. Actually, scratch that. 1.5 women. You might think I cropped it out. I didn't. Fei Li, who's the one at the end, she is a pioneering AI researcher and the only person with a governance lens here, literally half cropped out of the image. That's how Time published it. These are the architects of AI guarding the vault door, driven by commercial success, race for global domination. So maybe there's another way in. Okay, now we know about the doors that need keys. Your keys are your mentors, those who open the leadership doors that we discussed today, communities, your sponsors, Women Defining AI, Tech She Can, Female Founders Rise, quite a few of them. We are fighting for these keys, and we should be. But I'm not here to talk about those doors either. I'm here to show you a third kind of door, one that looks closed from a distance, one that actually opens when you step forward. The problem is, most of us are standing too far back to realize it's open, or even that it can open. The automatic door that I'm talking about is the ability to build AI solutions. It looks closed because for decades, for our entire lives, building technology meant having permissions most of us don't have. Computer science degrees, developer jobs, permission, access. But that door opened roughly 2.5 years ago. Most people haven't noticed it yet. So last October, I ran an 8-week hackathon with Women Defining AI in partnership with UKAI. Because everywhere I looked, I saw the same pattern. Women, using AI tools, women debating about AI, women worried about AI, but very few women actually building with AI. The government had put out a call for agentic AI prototypes as part of UK Opportunities AI Action Plan for public sector challenges. And I thought, what if we just built something? What if I could get women to build irrespective of their technology background? So 8 weeks, 4 teams, real problems, 26 women signed up. I would have been happy with 6, actually. 16 carried through. 50% had no AI background. 50% had no tech background. And they built 4 working prototypes. I'll name them for you. Talk and Book. It's a voice agent for elderly and people who are digitally excluded to book GP appointments. Because if you're digitally excluded, you can't see a screen, you're elderly, you can't do anything. So it's a voice agent you have a conversation with, and it books an appointment for you. Move AI. Did you know that to move your house in the UK, you need to update 17 different systems? So this Move AI companion basically guides you through that. Send companion. It's a companion for parents navigating the EHCP process. This has been the government's been debating about this in the last couple of weeks quite a lot. To get speech and language therapy for children who might have autism. And it's very hard, and if you know how hard it is. And the 4th prototype was Money Mind. It's a gamified financial literacy app for 8 to 11-year-olds, teaching kids about money in a way that it doesn't feel like a lecture, and it's completely aligned to the national curriculum. What do you notice about these prototypes? Care, access, support, literacy. It's not optimization. Different builders ask different questions. Different products get built for the same audience. But what happened in those 8 weeks is not that 4 prototypes got built. 2 of my participants went ahead and redid their entire website. One of them runs an e-commerce business, and she was very proud that she rebuilt her entire website with products, selling products connected to payment, all by herself. She owns her entire tech stack. 8 weeks earlier, she was probably going to her web development team, asking for every change, asking for, paying for every little change. She did not have that agency. But today, she owns her entire tech stack. She built it, she hosts it, she maintains it. This is not a skill she learned. This is an identity that shifted. From someone who needs tech people to I am a tech person, from consumer to creator. And if I go back to where we were, let me tell you what was happening in that week when we shipped those 4 prototypes. Elon Musk's Grok was undressing women without their consent. Care versus violation, access versus exploitation. This is what changes when we are in the room building. AI is not inevitable. The AI is not predetermined. I've got too many pages. So you don't need a computer science degree. You don't need to work in a tech company. I'll tell you a little bit about my mom. She's in her 70s. She has no tech background. She doesn't have a computer science degree. She uses ChatGPT to turn my dad's lecture notes into multiple choice questions, to study guide, to bulleted summary. She didn't ask for permission. She didn't wait. She just took the agency. And if she can do it, I mean, everyone can do it. The barrier today is not technology. The barrier is actually believing you need the credentials that you don't have. And I'm sure a lot of you maybe here are thinking, I'm not technical, I wouldn't know where to start. My mom, neither was she. She didn't know where to start. And the hackathon participants didn't know what to do either 8 weeks ago. So leadership isn't always about breaking down the vault doors. Sometimes it's about showing people which doors are already open. I cannot get you into that Time magazine photo. I cannot get myself into the Time magazine photo. I can't unlock the vault, but I can show you the door that's already open. So your open sesame is just one step forward. Thank you.
That was amazing. Thank you. What an incredible talk. I always turn to Samathi for any AI question, and she's always encouraging me just to take that step forward. So thank you to all our speakers today. Lauren, Alicia, Michelle, thank you for standing up. Suki, Claire, Linda, Tribeni, and of course, Samathi. It's been brilliant having you all speak. Thank you to our sponsors, Nayax, Delta, and Steeleye. Thank you to the entire Harrington Starr team. We want all of you thinking about who opened doors for you and who should be doing it now, who should be doing it next, and who can you open a door for. All our activities over lunch and networking are designed to bring that to life. I'll let Georgia tell a bit more.
So yeah, as mentioned, lunch is provided. If you have any dietary requirements, please make them known. You'll see the photographer roaming around in networking. He has some pictures to take with a twist. So if you get your photo taken, they'll instantly be printed and he'll turn you into an AI character within the theme of the event. So please do get your photo taken today. The book exchange area, we have this every year. So on your tables, there is a bookmark each. On the top half is the bookmark for you to keep, but you rip the bottom half off. It's a smaller section. I need you to fill out both sides of this part of the bookmark and then hand that in exchange for your book. There is quite a few of you here today, so it is first come, first serve, but there is 200 books, but just giving you a pre-warning. The idea behind this is we want you to nominate a leader who opens doors for you or opens doors for others, and we want to celebrate them beyond the event and continue the conversation. So we will celebrate chosen leaders with a great story in the next edition of our magazine, The Financial Technologist. It'll be released in April. And another way to continue the conversation is when you walked in, you may have seen a telephone booth. We will be taking recordings for our podcast, Nadia's podcast, FinTech DEI Discussions. I'm sure you all know it very well. If you want to feature in that, please leave a message. There's some prompts on the sign in the box, and we'll create some promotional assets for you to promote it once the episode's out, again, in around a month's time to continue the conversation. And backed by popular demand, we have the professional headshot area. It's just in the room at the front. Please build your personal brand and have a refresh of your photo. And as always, connect and share on social media, and please tag us. We want to see your posts and we want to amplify them for you.
So there's one big thank you that needs to happen, and that is to Georgia Richardson, who has done everything to make this day possible. I promised how I wouldn't do that, but you all deserve to know who makes this day possible. Every single detail on the tables, every single detail out there, this was the woman that was booking it all and making it all happen. So I hope you thoroughly enjoy it. We've also got the She Plays to Win little thing that you can put on the top of your computer to give you some privacy. But everyone, thank you to you all for turning up today. How positive has this been in the way the world is today? So thank you for all being here, and let's open doors for each other. Thank you.